Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
Oh, hold on. I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy sh**.
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you think?
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes gesperrt. Bitte bilden Sie eine Rettungsgasse.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is shocked to hear of all the horror going on in the European theater. Explosions, hunger, power outages, people being killed. No, we are not talking about BLM. This is something different. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger in fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not, look over at date. Quote of the day goes exactly like this one thing. All nations who have participated in Russian sanctions have now been classified by Russia as unfriendly. The unfriendly states are the U.S., UK, Canada, Australia, Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, Switzerland, the 27 nations of the European Union, and a number of smaller countries that no one really cares about. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she's one of the biggest flat earth rock stars ever. What's going on, Karen?
It's just been a little bit of a hectic day, but, we made it on time.
I'm impressed because when we first got connected, you were swearing up a storm, and I would have thought that the whole thing was just crashing down. It's like, wow. All right, but now you seem fine.
Everything's just great.
Well, it's early. Hey, Karen, being a flat earther, along with being a suspected witch, it must be hard to find friends, especially with YouTube's anti-flat earth algorithms. Do you know a way to find like-minded awake people around you, as well as good info about our stationary horizontal level plane?
What? Why, yes. That would be the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, Zodiac, and Clock app.
Yes, indeed. It's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Thank you, David, for that wonderful little paragraph. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. Shoutouts, obviously, to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to thestrong.family. The Deftones are going to be launching a 2022 tour real soon. They're starting in the Northwest. I believe they're going to Portland first and Seattle second. And Stephen, if you are listening, I will send you an email during this show because I forgot to send it to you. I know you're going to be in Seattle on the 18th. So I'd love to meet you before or after or whenever. So just let me know. Heck, I might even be able to get them up here to the island.
You better message them quick.
I will. We got 11 days.
It's going to be busy.
I know. It'll be busy. All right. So also,
I'm going to be seeing them in Atlanta.
Nice. I'm happy for you. That's really, really cool. Also, truthsmacks.com, spreading truth one delicious morsel at a time. There may be a QR code on your screen if you're watching the video version of this, but yeah, Trail Mix Supreme, goodness, in every bag. You get smarter just eating it. It's true, and more enlightened. It cures pretty much everything, from what I understand.
Smarter and prettier.
Yes.
And better looking.
Yes, you become immediately better looking. Unless results may vary, me being the perfect example. Because small children do run from me. Meetups. Let's do the meetups real fast. Let's see here. Let's cancel out of this. Save draft. Because I was writing Stefan and now I have to wait. Okay, so the meetups. Let's start with, there's going to be a meetup in Ohio, April 30th, and we'll do this a few more times before we get there. At Goodyear Metro Park Pioneer Shelter, 975 Trinity Line Road, Akron, Ohio, from noon to 8. If you're interested, you can email vluneman@gmail.com. That's VLUNEMANN@gmail.com, and I will make a promo for this and put it up on my channel. Also, Kobit says, hey, Mark, there's some meetups in Florida. There are 3 meetups happening this weekend around Florida. They are Fort Myers, Fort Pierce, and Jacksonville. The schedules can be found at
flatearthfestivals.com.
Yes, indeed. flatearthfestivals.com. And there's going to be an Oklahoma meetup. Not this weekend, but it looks like the next weekend. Truther, Chloe, and Jesse will be hosting a meetup Saturday, April 16th, all day at Hummingbird Beach in Lake Eufaula State Park, and that's EUFAULA, Oklahoma. Come early, stay late. There'll be a lake to swim in, sausage and eggs, burgers. You lead with sausage and eggs, really? Burgers, hot dogs, tacos, cold drinks. We'll have a bonfire in the evening. Bonfire, by the way, I'm pretty sure it's not two words. So burn your submission muzzle. That's definitely Jesse. If the weather is clear, we can zoom in the moon and stars with the P1000. So you can RSVP by calling Jesse at 857-344-6209 or Chloe at 405-614-2259. 300kmileprius@gmail.com, or you can email them at 300kmileprius@gmail.com or chloerebecca@gmail.com. That's CHLOEREBEKAH@gmail.com. Okay, good. Those are out of the way. Now, let's get to the headlines. But before we do that, I'm going to do a quick little 90-second recap, a little 90-second history lesson for you guys. So here we go. Sorry, I'm going to need some lemonade for this one. Refreshing. Previously on Strange World. As Karen says from time to time, the world order likes to screw with us, and their biggest plan to date is getting all of us to fight, and by that I mean the big showdown that people have been talking about for decades and up until now has never materialized. So how would you make something like that happen? Well, first, you get the U.S. to work on Ukraine and see if they're willing to join the Euro Cool Kids Club, otherwise known as NATO. Then Russia gets tired of that and says, oh, hell to the no, and invades Ukraine. Then the Cool Kids Club says, oh, you done screwed up now. We are going to sanction your ass until the money is worthless. Then Russia says, oh, yeah, well, screw your sanctions. We have tons of resources and don't need you. And while we're at it, we're selling gas to anyone who sanctioned us for rubles starting now. What effect did all the economy drama have? A quick review. A ruble is like our penny. The only difference is when we have 100 pennies, we change the name to a dollar, and they just call it 100 rubles. They don't have a dollar. So before the invasion, it was 84 Russian pennies to 100 U.S. pennies. Not too shabby. Then the sanctions happened, and the ruble got hammered. It went to 120 Russian pennies and 140 and topped out at about 150. Things looked bad. That's the end of my little monologue. Cue the first headline. The first headline is just a thing you guys can use forever, which is an exchange rate chart. And it is the U.S. dollar to Russian ruble exchange rate. Karen, what does it say the U.S. dollar is right now?
It says $1 US is 83.3477 rubles.
Thank you. And that's amazing, isn't it? Because it was 84 before the invasion. So let's get this straight. You want to know what Russia can do? Not only did they do an invasion, and you scroll down, you look at the graph chart, it looks like a freaking heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did they do an invasion, and then the sanctions happened, and then it just went up through the freaking roof, and the Western media is saying, oh, Russia's going down in flames. In 3 weeks, not only did they just swat everything away like a bear swatting insects, see what I did there, because a bear is kind of their mascot, it's their thing. Not only did they do that, but then they came in and said, oh yeah, by the way, now we sell oil for rubles. And then everything just drops back down. So the sanctions did absolutely nothing. Did absolutely nothing. Moving to the next headline. Next headline is, right after basically the White House tried to take this from the Washington Examiner, right after the White House tried to take a sanctions victory lap, the Russian ruble regained all of its value. So after you got all those poor European countries to go along with you, 30-something countries to throw all these sanctions at Russia, they're fine. They're better than fine, actually. They've started a new money war, which is why I called this show The Last of the Money Wars. I actually called it The Last Money Wars because The Last of the Money Wars kind of like sounds like Last of the Mohicans. Doesn't really matter. Moving on to next headline. Next headline. I'm sorry, I'm a little fired up about this. Which is Associated Press. This is our media. Russia's ruble rebound raises questions of sanctions impact. You think? What did I say weeks ago? I said, don't underestimate these guys. This is the only nation that survived a land assault against the Third Reich. Okay? Nobody else could say that. They did. And you thought sanctions were going to do something to these guys? No, not at all. Moving on. Next one down. Oh, yeah. Putin tells Europe, pay in rubles or we cut off your gas and cut off your nuts at the same time. Yeah. So Europe, he's basically throwing down the gauntlet. Any nation that was mean to Russia, signed the sanction thing, went along with the Americans, you're going to have to pay in rubles. All right. Moving down. We're going to rip through these. Next one down. So what happens? and I know this isn't an absolute solid news source, but I'm going to go with this from the Hal Turner radio show. What happens immediately after that? The Vatican Bank sends 10 million euros to Russia to buy rubles, to buy gas. Why? Vatican doesn't care. They signed on. It's like, yeah, we're going to pay whatever you want. We don't care. As long as it keeps the lights on, we're doing it. We got to stay warm here in the Vatican. Yeah, they're not alone. Not by a long shot. Moving down to the next one. Next one down is Slovakia. Slovakia kicks in. They're apparently pretty safe. Slovakia, which, by the way, there's a lot of flat earthers in Slovakia. A lot of them. You know, that we're big. You know how some bands are big in certain places. Flat earthers
instead of being big in Japan, we're big in Slovakia.
We are. We're huge in Slovakia. I do not know why. It was one of the first mainstream magazines we got into with Slovakia. I mean, big spreads. I've still got them over there in the drawer. Slovakia agrees to pay for Russian gas in rubles. You're not going to see this over in the American side of things. Slovakia, yeah. Absolutely going to say, yep, we're going to do it. If there is a condition to pay in rubles, then we will pay in rubles. The head of Slovakia said, great. Don't have to say any more than it. And short, here's why. Ready? Here we go. Russian imports count for 85% of all their gas supplies. So their quote was, we cannot be cut off from gas. You can't. Basically, the whole thing would shut off. People would just freeze. Slovakia would just wither as a country. Moving on. Next one down. Meanwhile, Germany and Austria, this is from BBC News, Germany and Austria take steps toward gas rationing. They're freaking out because Germany has, not quite 85% like Slovakia, but pushing 50%. I don't know what Austria is. But yeah, they're trying to figure out what to do. Yeah. Don't know what they're going to do, but the Americans are putting pressure on them. Huge pressure. Okay, moving on. This next one, very interesting. You ready? And this is from RT. You're not going to see it in our media, which is why I encourage people to read RT whenever you get the chance, while you are still able to in America, which is U.S. warns India not to help Russia undermine the dollar. See, India hasn't committed. They're not part of NATO. And they got 1 billion people and a whole lot of influence, and they got a whole bunch of American citizens as well. So the one of the quotes was so great. So Washington's point man on anti-Russia sanctions warned India against deeper cooperation with Moscow. One of the quotes. Okay, here it is. Ready? Speaking to reporters after meeting with Indian officials, the Deputy National Security Advisor said, urged India not to boost Russian energy imports and to avoid any moves that might undermine the U.S. dollar. What we would not like to see is a rapid acceleration of India's imports from Russia as it relates to energy or any other exports that are currently being prohibited by the U.S. Because we're prohibiting things from going to India? How do we pull that off exactly? He said, adding that the United States is very keen for all countries, especially our allies and partners, not to create mechanisms that prop up the ruble and that attempt to undermine the dollar-based financial system. Note that. I'm going to read that one more time. The dollar-based financial system. The world financial system right now is pinned by the dollar. The U.S. up until now has never been challenged in that regard, and now they are, and things are starting to fall apart internationally. But as far as the American side, all the stories are just running the same thing, which is like women and children getting bombed. That's all we're going to run. That's all we're going to say. We are, the other stuff we're not talking about. Moving on, next one down, which is the IMF. I like this one. From Reuters, International Monetary Fund, that's IMF, warns Russia sanctions may threaten to chip away at the dollar dominance. You think? Of course they are. That's the whole point. The sanctions backfired, and now there is a second petrocurrency out there, and now the American dollar is in trouble. And the more countries sign on to this without reprisals from the United States, the weaker we look. And we're not going to go down without a fight, and so we're going to fight. That's what the overlords want. That's what we're going to give them. It's about as simple as that. Moving on, next one down. Oh, you'll appreciate this one, Karen. You ready? You know it's bad. So when Karen says, if you have to write an article about it, this is kind of like one of those. Mm-hmm. president of Blitz from Fortune magazine, the president of BlackRock warns entitled generation to put their seatbelts on over speeding inflation. Okay, there's a lot of people that don't listen to this podcast, and maybe even some that do, that don't even know what the hell BlackRock is. Right? If you don't know who they are, you might want to watch some content on it. BlackRock and Vanguard, they are one of the biggest conglomerates, if not the biggest conglomerate in the world. They have a piece of everything. If you can think of an industry, they've got a big piece of it. They want to completely control the economy, them and Vanguard and a couple others. But they're by far the most high profile. So the fact is they're so confident, they're so cocky that this guy's coming out and saying, yeah, inflation, buckle up. To where he's even saying, what was there? For the first time, this is a quote by him, right? The president, Rob Capito, which is basically their press secretary. Whoever truly runs BlackRock probably has horns and a bifurcated tail. But he says, for the first time, Eddie Scaly, this generation is going to go into a store and not be able to get what they want. Wow. He said at the Tuesday at the Texas Independent Producers and Royalty Owners Association conference, which is an annual oil and gas industry convention, which he knows a lot about. They are completely wired in there. Okay, fun stuff. Moving down, let's go down to the next one, which is, this one's fun. So this is from RT. So remember how Biden came out a couple weeks ago and was talking about the New World Order? How that America should lead the New World Order. Yeah, he's not the only one that's saying that. Who else is saying that? Moscow is. Moscow is saying, but they're doing it from their side. And they're saying, yeah, New World Financial Order is coming. The U.S. and the Europeans have tarnished their reputation by freezing Russia's central bank reserves. So Russia wants to step forward and say, yeah, New World Order? Yeah, I think we got you covered. But wait, there's more. And you think, oh, that's just the Russians saying that. No. You're going down to the very next article, which is not Russian media. That's American media. And this is the Huffington Post. Russia envisions new democratic world order with China. Don't know how that's going to work exactly. Think there might be some conflicts, some butting of heads there, maybe. But the fact that they're joining forces. Yeah, I'm sure there's some people in seats of power in our country that they're a little concerned. They're not sleeping real well. they're chewing Ambien like Tic Tacs probably at this stage, which is not chasing it with whiskey. It's not doing them any good. All right, next one down. Oh, yeah, and then we're also giving away too much. So the next one down, this is from RT. This is a story you will not see in American media, which is a little thing. You know, Russia is a commodity-based economy. They do a lot of minerals, and they also do a whole hell of a lot of fertilizer. Like 70% of the world's fertilizer comes from Russia. And what was exempt? You remember the sanctions we were talking about earlier? The sanctions didn't affect everything. One of the things that was conspicuously left out of the sanctions was fertilizer. So the story here that Russia is basically saying, it's like, oh yeah, so you can sanction us all day long, but America is still saying, so we're gonna wait. What's Peanut saying? Did I miss something? Oh, it's April. I'm sorry, I screwed up. Peter, you're right. I'm so sorry.
Everybody in chat was saying, did he say March?
Yeah, sorry.
I totally missed it and didn't say anything when you said it because I was too busy looking at the stream. So
sorry. So if you're listening, I feel bad because people's like, oh, I must be listening to a rerun. No, it's April. Sorry about that. It's not March 5th. It's April 5th. Damn it. And oh yes, and by the way, I did forget, but I'll bring it up next week, which is Peanut Gallery is going to be going to the Oklahoma meetup. So
there you go.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, I gotta scroll back up. Okay, so anyway, the point is that America sanctioned all sorts of stuff, but then they're quietly behind the scenes like, so Russia, you're gonna make sure the fertilizer gets out, right? That's kind of a big deal, which kind of rolls forward. It's like if we get into a serious direct conflict with Russia, what do you think is gonna happen to that fertilizer? You think they're going to be sending it to us then? No, they are not. Which means we're going to have to start producing it from somewhere else or getting it from somewhere else. Oh, it's going to be a fun time. All right, moving on. Next one down is not surprising. This is from RT, of course. All Russian exports could soon be in rubles because right now it's only gas and I think a little bit of oil, but it could also be nickel and neon and palladium and platinum and coal and all the other stuff. Remember, this is a big place. Russia is huge. You look at them on a map, they've got 9 time zones, contiguous. They've got a big area. It's covered with a lot of snow and ice. In fact, I was watching I was laughing. I was watching a YouTube video, Karen, and it was this girl that went to one of the, they actually have, they take pride in this, the coldest average temperature towns in the world where people live. Not Antarctica, not like that. No, where people actually live. Mm-hmm. There's this town that has, I don't know, a couple hundred people in, the northern Siberian place where it's -50 on a regular basis. And they were really proud about this. And they've only had like 2,000 visitors from out of country that have been there since the town has been around. And, it's quite this journey. You have to drive, hours and hours and hours in these frozen roads. And so when I read that story about, when they were saying that, the Russian army doesn't have enough cold weather gear and some of them are getting frostbite, it's like, you idiots. It's like whenever the Americans make a movie and they show Russia, it's always covered in snow and ice. It's like no one's going to buy that. No one's going to buy that they get cold or the Russians get cold. Come on. These people invented cold. And that's not an exaggeration. All right, next one down. Got a few more before the break. Okay, let's just run through the lucky and unluckies, and then we'll call the break. Okay, lucky and unluckies. These are ones you're not going to see in American media. First one, Belgian cyclist. Here we go from Euro Weekly News. He was 28. Had a heart attack. Wow, 28-year-old cyclist. Why did it happen? Don't know. It's a mystery. Really, really weird. And the next one down, also a mystery. This is from the Mirror, UK outlet. And tributes flooding a Scottish Commonwealth Games cyclist. John Paul dies suddenly at age 28. Wow, what happened? Another 28-year-old cyclist. You look at him down there in the picture. Looks pretty tough, looks pretty fit. Wearing the Union Jack.
Wait, nope. Which cyclist? I must have missed that one.
Which one? Oh, the guy with the British one? Which one do you have? Just the Belgian one?
Did you talk about the Belgian one first? I lost my place.
Belgian one was first.
Oh, and then the Italian cyclist.
The Italian cyclist. No, then the
Oh.
The
no,
Italian,
there's 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. So, and I don't remember, you guys will have to correct me from last week. I don't know, because remember we were talking about an Italian cyclist, I think it was last week. I don't know if this is that guy, but he's lucky. He actually had a heart attack and he's recovering. He's 31. I don't remember if that was the guy though, because there's a lot of Italian cyclists. Don't know.
Oh yeah. I went to Italy and they were all over the place. That's not even a joke.
It's nuts. I referenced the 70s movie. I think it was called Breaking Away. Next one down, which is, let's go to a soccer player. Thomas Rankin, footballer, dies suddenly in his mid-20s. And a bunch of tributes for him. Blah, blah, blah. It's a mystery. No one knows what the hell happened to him. Head scratcher to me. Let's see if we can get through the rest of these. And then, okay, 2 more real quick. Tennis world. We'll just do, this will be a bulk one. So there's this tennis tournament down at the Miami Open, and 15 players could not finish the tournament. And, from all over the place, and 2 of them were high ranked, and 2 of them just walked off. It's like, yeah, I'm not feeling well. And they walked off. It's like Peanut was saying, I don't know what they were giving the tennis players, but it appears to be the real thing, because whatever happened to those guys. And then last but not least, Bruce Willis, before the break, and I think we talked about this a little bit last week, but maybe not.
Yeah.
So he's 67, and he is retiring from acting permanently because he's got some sort of brain disorder.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 2 of 4. It's you, me, and Karen B. And I'm using the drumsticks during the break, or my drumstick chopsticks, so I don't forget to say, hey, you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album
Night and Day.
I got a clever Lord of the Rings meme picture from after the last show, because I forgot almost the entire second segment, and I am sorry for that. I know that people live and won't be able to sleep if I don't say it. And Peanut Gallery just loves to ride me. So let's get back to
so many jokes there.
Yes. Thank you, Karen. That's where your mind went straight to the gutter. Just nosedived into it.
Come on.
That's true. Okay, so let's go to the headlines. We'll knock out these last, 8 or so. Okay, first off, we're going to get back to the whole impending war thing, which is Biden could sign, this is from Reuters magazine, Biden could sign Defense Production Authority for battery minerals. That's from out of Washington. U.S. President Joe Biden could invoke a Cold War-era defense law as soon as this week to encourage the domestic production of minerals needed to make the batteries in electric vehicles, according to a person familiar with the matter. Okay, why? You guys are probably going to know this because I'm going to bring it up, and you're going to go, oh, Mark, why are you bringing this up again? This has to do with nickel. Remember me talking about nickel a while ago? So nickel is used for two big things. One is making stainless steel. It's like, stainless steel, cheap steak knives and stuff like that. But it is really used in rechargeable batteries, the big ones, and use a lot of nickel for that. And who is one of the biggest exporters of nickel? Yeah, it's Russia and Ukraine. So we are quietly, that's why they're not saying nickel in this title. They don't want to spook people. Especially don't want to spook the nickel market, which was closed down, and the London Metal Exchange. Now nobody trusts them anymore, because when you heard the backstory about that, where they erased the entire day's worth of trading because they didn't want entire institutions to go under. It's like, really? So you're giving preferential treatments to the billionaires because they screwed up? Yeah, they are. So anyway, America is kind of heading this off, and we're going to start strip mining for nickel now, I think. Which is why Peanut Gallery was we were talking about earlier. It's like, so we won't be doing any more oil exploration, but we're going to start ripping up the ground for nickel. Right now, yeah, because that's what they can get away with. All right, moving on. So fertilizer, nickel, again, these are things we're just giving away. We're showing our too many of our cards, and Russia's going to take full advantage of this. Let's go to Clown World. You ready? You'll know this one, Karen. This is from BGR. Kaspersky antivirus software used by millions dubbed a national security threat by the FCC. Why? Because it's Russian. Get it? Kaspersky? Get it? Because anything that Russian is bad. I would not surprise me if I go down to the store in a week and Russian salad dressing isn't there anymore. This is the whole freedom fries from years ago taken to the next level. It's like, really? So the antivirus software, which people have been using forever, I mean, they're one of Kaspersky's been around there for a long, long time. Now it's a national security threat. Really? What are we going to do with all the Russian citizens? We're going to create internment camps? when this thing happens? This isn't like Japan in the 40s. You really think you're going to start rounding up Russians? No. By the way, you like the photograph from this where it's like it's not even, it has nothing to do. It's just close up of a man with a beard.
Yeah, it's like
because he
just
looks
some
Russian.
random guy.
Yeah, this guy looks Russian.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God,
so stupid.
I know. And by the way, I love the quote from this article. Russia's invasion of Ukraine wasn't explicitly mentioned in the FCC's public notice announcing the move. No, has nothing to do with it. No. Mm-mm. Oh, you guys are killing me. We're so bad at this. Next one down is, oh yeah. File this one under old tricks are the best tricks. You're not going to see this in American media. This is from RT. Russia warns about Ukrainian use of UN vehicle. Okay. What they're saying here is stop shipping troops and guns with UN vehicles. We know this trick. You guys have been using it. The Americans have been using this trick for years and years and years. Hell, we've been showing it in our movies all the time. It's one of those movies things you're writing. It's like, yeah, we can totally cross the border. Just get into that UN vehicle. Or better yet, pretend to be a press reporter and put them in the UN vehicle, even though we're both CIA agents. So this is Russia saying, don't do it. We see a UN truck, we're going to pull you over anyway, and it's going to end badly. So don't do it. In fact, they probably ran this article because they did do it. It's like, hey, look at a couple of UN trucks. Yeah, blow them up. They did, probably. And we can't report on it because we weren't supposed to be there. Just so you know. We're not. I mean, it's so silly. Come on. We're unofficially already engaged with them.
It says they also use DHL cars.
Of course they would. Why wouldn't they? Because you get bigger trucks. Just jam them full of stuff. Oh, yeah, I got delivery, tractor parts. What? What are you doing? It's an old trick. What, they don't watch our shows? Come on, it's because no one touches the UN stuff. Come on. If anyone in the truther community, if you see a UN truck pulling up your driveway, run. Get the hell out of there. The blue hats are not your friends.
No kidding.
Because they're not blue hats. They're somebody else. Okay. Moving down. Let's got a few more. This one from USA Today. Biden to release 1 million barrels of oil per day from strategic reserves to drive down gas prices. Why? Because we cut off oil from, the Russians. And even though it's like, so how much? We've got strategic reserves. Not a ton, but we're going to do 1 million barrels a day every day for the rest of the year. And you're thinking, wow, that's probably going to help a lot until you look up the stats. And even after the pandemic, we're still using right now 17 million barrels a day. So it's not going to make that much difference. No. But the fact that we're using it, yeah, that's...
Mark, you're frozen on the screen.
Really?
Yeah, can you fix your camera, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I can fix my camera. You can hear me, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. How about now?
That's better. Yes,
oh,
much
good.
better.
Good. I was worried. Okay, I got two more. This is fun. This is, again, a story, very, very quiet. Not going to see it really in the mainstream media, which is, it's also from RT. Ukraine denies attacking oil depot in Russia. Okay, yeah, they are going to deny it. So for no apparent reason whatsoever, on Russian soil, right next to the Ukraine border, an oil depot blew up. And the Ukrainians apparently didn't know anything about it. Did the Americans know something about it? Probably. Did the British probably help? Probably. Do not forget, but Master Gunner confirmed this last week. It's like when you hear the term advisors or trainers, it's Green Berets from our side and SAS from the British side. We're already over there. Well, we were over there until they used cruise missiles and got us the hell out. And so now we are training all their guys over in Poland, and then we're kind of shipping them in because all the training facilities we were using over there have been neutralized. How's that? So how this oil depot blew up? Wow. Amazing. They say it could have been helicopters. Were they Ukrainian helicopters? I don't know. Maybe. Or it could have just been what I talked about last week, which was anyone that goes against the petrodollar whatsoever gets bombed, without exception. You remember the whole Saudi Arabia thing, where Saudi Arabia, it's like, oh, let's trade oil for yuan, Chinese money, and they bombed a facility very similar to this. God, coincidence, amazing. All right, last but not least, let's get down to it, because this is a matter of currency and pride and all this other stuff. So a British ex-general, why he's talking to people, I don't know. Why? Because the SAS are already in Ukraine? Probably. NATO's been defeated by Russia and Ukraine, British ex-general says. Why would he say such a thing? He was talking to BBC Radio. Slightly controversially, I suppose, NATO's been defeated. NATO's bluff was called. He said on Thursday morning, we were unable to stop the Russians trampling all over Ukraine, and now NATO is holding the line of the 2004 expansion along with the line of the Baltic states and Poland, Hungary, and Romania. And what it has to do is to defend that line. It's in what military terms we would call a defensive position. And I don't think it has the capacity to move onto the offensive with its 30 nations with slightly different views. So, yeah, we're not doing well over there. Let's put it that way. We're hanging tough, sort of, but that's about it. Will it escalate? No, but before we take calls, because we have enough time here to go to calls, I want to mention really fast, which is this is one of those issues where we're talking about this. Karen knows, the listeners know. You know what the story is, the truth, and the hierarchy of power. But this is not something, are we going to go, fight Russia before this is over? Yeah, we will. But we're never going to be able to do it for the reasons we've been talking about. You are never going to convince the general public or Joe Lunchbox or Joe Sixpack and Sally Housecoat. You're never going to be able to convince them to engage in a fight over exchange rates. Doesn't even make, you have to explain exchange rates to them, and they're not going to get it. So you're going to have to make up something. So the stories you are going to hear over the next week or two or whatever, and it's going to get louder and louder and worse until they come up with something that resonates with the general public, is that they're going to say women and children, atrocities, war crimes, atrocities, genocide. They'll throw that in there. They're going to do that over and over until finally somebody, until they get enough resonance with the general public. That's because remember, the narrative has to be simple, because the general public is dumb as a bag of hammers. They just don't get it. The narrative has to be, Orange Man bad, Russia bad, Ukraine good, Zelensky obviously a hero. By the way, last thing before we pick up calls, did you know, Karen, it's been driving me nuts that again, you can tell, not to steal from Elon Musk, the tool of all tools, but you how fake it is when he is doing conference presentations to initially he started out with the UN and the House of Parliament over in the UK and Israel, and then he moved on. He did a speech at the Oscars, I understood, and then he did actually a presentation at the Grammys, the US Grammys. He's basically telling them, oh, ship guns over our way. We need your help, America. And influencers that are musicians, it's like, why would he be talking to the Grammys? Why would they give a crap? And every time he shows up on screen, everyone rises and gives him this big standing ovation. Not because they want to, not because they're inspired. They have to, because everyone else, once you get the first 70% of them standing up, you don't want to be sitting down, because then you're obviously against them. You're obviously communist if you're not standing up and giving this rousing thing of applause. Drives me insane. Oh my God. Okay, I just had to get that out.
You feel better now?
It just bugs me. It's so simple. It's so overt. And the media has gotten, I will say this, for the puppet masters that are out there, you have gotten very, very good at the whole media thing. I mean, you have honed them to where if you preach them, you fire off that narrative for, I don't know, even a week, all of a sudden it's water cooler. All of a sudden I start hearing it at the grocery store. I start hearing it from family members and friends. They just start regurgitating it back to me. It's like, oh, it's obvious. The Ukrainians are all heroes, and they're winning the war. I mean, if you watch the Western media, you'd swear it's like Russia was losing. It's like, what are you talking about? Their currency isn't even losing. Okay, I'm done. I'm fine.
All right.
Peanut says they are brave and beautiful. Shut up, Peanut. Ukrainian heroes. Stupid blue and yellow flag. Give me a real villain. Give me Ivan Drago. Give me the frickin' hammer and sickle. I want the Soviet Union back. That's who you want.
You know, this conflict did become completely uninteresting, like really fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really fast.
Yep. I know. And yet they're so trying to get us to fight. It's the schoolyard, big kids, you're just egging on both sides. The troublemakers, the instigators, trying to get them to fight, and they're not doing it. It's like, what's it going to take? Eventually you have to make up something. It's like, dude, he totally slapped your sister or whatever it was, something dumb. And I'm like, what'd you do? And then they fight, but we're having a difficult time right now because all anyone over here is caring about is freaking prices at the store and the gas station, which we haven't really talked about. We're not going to. Okay. Oh, sorry. One more thing. Sorry, I got to bring this up. Because I was thinking about gas prices. There was a story, but I'm not going to read it, which was, I think it was Bette Midler that came out and said that all the people that are complaining about gas prices should just suck it up. And she was aiming at the Trump people. And the picture she put on Twitter was of a MAGA truck, with the banners, a big oversized monster truck. And it's like, that's not all the people that drive cars, dear. I know what you're pointing at. It's like, fine, that thing gets maybe 10 miles to the gallon. Those aren't necessarily the people that are suffering. Everyone's going to suffer at the bumps. Not you per se, because you have a driver and you don't even have to look at the gas station. In fact, you probably don't even go to the gas station and get it filled up. The driver goes for you and then comes and picks you up. But okay, I'm done. Let's pick up some phone calls. Let's go to a lot of phone calls, by the way. Let's go to 917. Okay, 91 muted. 917.
Line unmuted.
Line unmuted.
You have a driver. You don't even have to look at the gas station. In fact, you probably don't even go to the gas station to get it filled up. The driver goes for you.
Dude, you're delayed. You got to pick up.
Hello?
Let's go to...
He's listening on delay.
917. Okay, 91 muted.
Wow.
What? We're just listening to ourselves. It's going to end up like a crazy feedback loop if we don't stop this madness.
All right, I'm putting him back on mute. Okay, let's go back out. 518. 518. You're unmuted. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, Mark, Karen? How y'all doing this evening?
Good.
Yeah, I missed you last week when you called me last week. Right before you called me, my brother called me, and that's why I didn't answer the phone. I was on the phone for 45 minutes with him last week. But I want to talk about this Dr. Fauci.
Okay.
Rand Paul has been ragging his ass hard for 2 years.
Yep.
About this pandemic. And I was reading in the New England Journal of Medicine 2 years ago. Back it's been 2 years. It was a March edition where he said, and the only thing he got right is that this pandemic wouldn't be as bad as the SARS or the MERS. But then I also found out that he had his when he came to the NIH. He also had ties with USAMRIID. Y'all know who USAMRIID is, right?
Enlighten our listeners.
Huh?
Pretend we don't.
Okay, USAMRIID is the United States Army Medical Research for Infectious Diseases.
Okay.
Now, they're down in Maryland.
Yep.
On an Army base, and they make bioweapons.
Down in Fort Detrick.
I also, yeah.
They make bioweapons.
I didn't want to. Yes, they make bioweapons in Fort Detrick. That's where it's located.
It's a military base. It's a military base. That sort of makes sense. Go ahead.
So, and I also found out that the NIH was funding laboratories in Wuhan.
No, that's all part of that's all a lie to back up another lie. That's not, there's no mystery bug floating through the air. That's part of the lie. Nobody's making bioweapons.
Well, what I'm saying is this. I didn't say that he got them from bio. Remember, I gave y'all the patent number about a month ago for the virus of unknown origin.
Right.
You know, and it lists the people that were involved in creating that so-called virus of unknown origin.
So what are you hoping? What are you hoping for here? You're hoping that the doctor will go down, that eventually he'll be dragged off to some sort of tribunal?
Nah, I hope he just get dragged the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Put him behind one of them big Navy ships and drown his ass.
Okay. Yeah, no, I got you.
Right.
I mean, I'm down for that.
Drag his ass like a life raft.
Yeah, it's possible, but not necessarily the Navy ship thing. That he might be brought up eventually, but I don't know. The media and everybody, including the politicians, have been focused on other things as of late.
Yeah, but see, he just came back on TV not too long ago because he was sitting in front of Congress for the past 6 months.
Right. I don't really have any faith that they'll get to him. To be perfectly frank, I think he's been insulated well enough that
I don't know, because now the scientists that was trying to stop him from doing this, he kind of shunned them, tell them they didn't know what the hell they were talking about and stuff, and these people was like, no, dude, you got it all wrong.
Well, anyway, but again, thanks for throwing that in there. Appreciate it a lot. But at this point, there's come on, after the mandates were pulled back, there's no headlines on it. Let's move on to New Mexico before the break. 5:05. What is happening?
Hi. I wasn't really prepared. I forgot I was on the line that you were gonna.
That's okay.
That you were gonna unmute, but that's okay. Your cyclist guys. Maybe we should just at least say their names. The Belgian cyclist was Cedric Backland, and the Italian cyclist, who hopefully is still alive, Sonny Ciolbrelli. Go Italy. The Scottish cyclist was John Paul. You did mention his name. So, and otherwise, thank you for your show, because everything is against flat Earth. Everything is against it. It's so against it. Some days it just absolutely astounds me.
Well, I mean, at least they don't shut down the channels entirely. I like for example, my channel is still up. Hey, by the way, I'm still gunning for 100,000. Should have happened a long time ago, but my channel, but like for example, my channel got tons of guideline strikes, and yet it survived. And as far as I know, as long as you're staying down the flat Earth path, they haven't knocked us off there. I mean, yeah, they've shadow banned us a whole bunch and censored this and censored that, but they haven't attacked us too directly. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, they've been against us, sure, but I've seen them go after other things harder than us.
Right. But like something in particular is Christian churches are
going after flat
sometimes
Earth?
I think maybe even, well, no, they're formed as gatekeepers to flat Earth. They, I don't know if you guys know this, but the King James Bible is actually a flat Earth book. excuse me, one might say.
I have been briefed on the subject. Yes. You got to remember the site that I recommend more than anything is testingtheglobe.com. When it comes to that's from the late Rob Skiba, and where he was one of the first people to come out to me and said, "Oh yeah, King James Flat Earth book," and also don't forget that half of the. Go ahead.
Edward Hendry uses many references. All of his references in his book come from the King James Bible. But for instance, at least one mega church that I know is, I would imagine that all the mega churches do this, but they use fake Bibles. I think it's called an NIV, and that comes from a different translation. That's how they defend it. But they take out a lot of verses, and I think it's the Byzantine versus the Alexandrian, and the NIVs are from the Alexandrian, the King James are from the Byzantine, and I mean the first page, they take out the word firmament, and I mean I took one of their Bibles, and on the first page it says creation, I don't know, it uses the words, or maybe it's on their website, I don't know, and it's creation.
Hate to do this to you.
Okay.
We got 30 seconds. No, you got 30 seconds of the music. Any shout outs?
Yes, of course. Shout out to Eddie Alenkar. Always love you, Eddie. Please call me. And we have these 3 huge TV screens at the mega church, and it would be so easy to put Eddie Alenkar's stuff up there and school people on the truth.
Right on. Well, thank you for that. That's awesome. Well, hey, you have a good evening, and don't be a stranger. Appreciate it. Phone number to call in is 213-233-3998, and we're going to go to our second break. And when we come back, we're going to pick up some more phone calls and talk to you about whatever.
It seems to me so strange. Check wallet for his name. His face is in the muck. I think his zipper's stuck.
This is iHeartRadio.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 3 of 4. It's you, me, and the always wonderful Karen B. And we're taking some phone calls. Phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. And just like to clarify, it is April 5th, not March 5th. Damn it. All right. I do that. It's not the first time I've done that. I've screwed up the date before. And
yes, I know, Mark.
I get focused on certain things, but I feel bad because there's so many people who's like March 5th. I'm not listening to a rerun.
We all do it. I
know, but
that's all right. Caroline will get over it.
Yes, Caroline will get over it. All right. Let's pick up. Let's do 646 out of New York. Line unmuted. What is happening out there in dreary old Manhattan?
What are you guys doing?
We're doing a show. What are you doing?
I'm just checking in, seeing how you guys are doing. You guys feel good?
Yeah, feel good.
Great.
Hey, by the way, I know I wrote this to you in an email, but so I included your music video at the end of the Strange World thing that I posted on YouTube. pleasantly impressed. I had no idea, man. I had no idea.
What are you talking about?
Your music video.
Are you talking about my song?
Yes. Yeah, your song.
Well,
it was very good.
I don't make thank you. I don't make flat earth like art, so to speak, but it just sort of bleeds into my world, I guess.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. You came off. No, I'm just saying that in after hours shows when I'm talking to you, no, you're a huge dork. But during the video, you were ultra cool. It was really cool. It was like a Dr. Jekyll,
Thanks,
a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Cool type thing.
Well, I'm just like nobody wants. This wasn't a club that I fucking woke up one day and I wanted to be part of Flat Earth Club. I didn't want to be part of this. I was just like, what the fuck is this shit? It just happened to me. That's just what happened. And that's just what happens to people. We had an amazing get together this last weekend. It was awesome.
Yeah. Was it really fun?
Yeah, you go into it thinking like you want to unload a bunch of stuff off your chest about. I'm so happy that we're past this bullshit. We're not past it, but this vaccine bullshit. Like, we don't have to talk about it as much anymore. And I like Flat Earth. This is my favorite, and like just watching people, get together. Like I sat back, I hosted the whole thing, and there was also Joe. I can give him some credit. Joe of Captain Flatastic. Weiss was out there, and I just sat back and I watched everybody just hang out and just unload a bunch of shit that was on their chest, and it was awesome. It was awesome. And I didn't even need to really talk to anybody. I was just like, this is great. There's probably 45, 50 people there in this Mexican restaurant in Long Island, which everyone in there were just like, what are there a bunch of flat earthers in here? Fucking what? And I was just like, this is great. And because Karen didn't do solar return. Sorry, Karen, I don't mean to talk shit. But we needed one get together in the spring. We need one get together. And since we didn't get that, because Solar Return was fucking amazing, and I wish we could have had it.
I thought
so we didn't.
so
we did this thing.
Yeah, Solar Return was awesome. Hardly anybody showed up, though. I felt like so many more people.
Awesome. I got kicked out of my hotel. It was like I got kicked out of my hotel because I stayed in some shitty ass fucking flea bag motel next to the thing. But I'm so glad we're gonna do it. But here's the thing, I can do about one of these a quarter or one of these every 6 months because there's just so much energy in a room. Like if you get in the middle of a room of flat earthers, holy shit, you can't stop talking. And everybody's just talking over each other. And I don't even mind that. I love it, because people are just like, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? I'm just like, it's one of my favorite things ever of all time, Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. There was somebody that emailed me sent me an email and said, I think I posted it in Funky Munch chat, which was like, yeah, and I met a celebrity. David Weiss was there. It's like, oh God. At least they didn't go far, because I've had this happen every once in a while where people say, do you know this person? It's like, yeah. Briefly,
dude, everybody was just like, it was the most rad collection of people. Like I always say the same thing, like with Flat Earth gatherings, it's always like my favorite thing to talk about, like what I consider our community is like a very interesting collection of how do you say this exactly? I want to say this exactly right. It's a collection of not idiots, but collection of very selective people from all walks of life who somehow know that the earth isn't spherical, and there's so many people in this thing that it's a collection of people that nobody knows why we all got together and made this thing. I don't know. My flatties are my favorite people in the whole world. And just sitting there, I sat there the whole time in this thing. There was 45, 50 people there at a Mexican restaurant in Long Island. And I was just like, this is awesome. And they were all just actively connecting to each other. And like, I didn't even have to do anything. I just sat there and I was like, this is so good.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Really, really great.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? How's the weather?
Pretty good.
Where are you guys at? You're out in the island out there, and
I'm out on an island.
And,
it's mid 50s. Karen's she's in the underworld. So
it's fucking warm down the Carolinas. I think we're all going to have a flat Earth community in the Carolinas eventually. I don't know when exactly it's going to happen.
There already is a flat Earth community. There already is a flat Earth community in the Carolinas, Alex.
Dude, it's
already here.
Yeah, and I think, and I manifest that stuff, like, let's go down there. And like, I was hanging out with Christian Knapp down there in his little fucking amazing RV on the beach. He's living on the beach just doing Christian Knapp stuff. And I was just like, when I was there with him, like, for my birthday, and I was like, what are you talking about? You have the beach right there. You have a little RV thing here, and then you have, like, there's a little sports bar over there, and there's like a bunch of like really crazy good stuff to get up to. And to me, I'm just like, why can't we just get all of the flat earthers to go to one spot so that we can all just like enjoy each other? I mean, I can't stand this shit. I'm in New York, and it's just like, I'm ranting
Alex,
right now, but
Alex is still at the meetup.
Yeah.
You're having like Vietnam flashbacks in the meetup right now.
I know, but it was so much fun, dude. There were so many funny people there. Like, if you get around people that understand flat Earth jokes, and like they just start saying flat Earth jokes, and you're just like, shit, man. Like, I wish I lived down the street from this guy. And like, most of my flatties, most of my best friends, like, now that I'm in my life, they're just like, they're so far away from me. I want to get close to them as quick as possible. And it was so awesome. Dave was there passing out his tchotchkes, our favorite unicorn, Dave. And he was just like, he's just like rocking it. And like, everybody else was just like, seriously, just having a great time. I didn't even have to say a word. I thought I'd have to like talk to a bunch of people. And I did talk to like a few people, but I was just like, just go, just talk. Just say stuff. Let's talk about Tartarian and like all sorts of, like, it was fun. It was super fun. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
Wow. Nice, man. Well, thank you. That is a bolt of optimism, and I appreciate it a lot.
Well, I just fucking have a bunch of love for you flatties. You have no idea. And it was just like, it was really good to have that. I wish Karen fucking, fuck you for not doing fucking Solar Return, but we'll do that next year.
I'll try to do it next year, but hey, Flattoberfest is coming.
That's true.
Dude, it's gonna be so rad.
Already set.
Yeah, dude, and I'm just like, to me, it's like that it sets my whole year. It's like I want like something quarterly or at least once every 6 months to where we can all get together and like unleash, and just like talk about stuff. And like most of the time, I don't even have to talk to people. I just have to let them talk because everyone's so crazy about getting some shit off their chest. I don't even have to do anything. I'm just like, yep.
Ooh, 11-11.
Oh, yeah. 11-11.
All right, Alex. Hey,
I love you guys.
Too,
I'm gonna pop off.
Okay. All right. Talk to you soon, man.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. He seemed a little up, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did. All right, let's go out to California with someone who may or may not be up. 530. It's you, me, and Karen B. What's happening? Line unmuted.
Oh.
That means you, California.
California.
Pick up the line.
I guess California is sleepy.
You know what? We're going out to South Kakalaki. 864. You are on the line. What is going on? Line unmuted.
Hey, Marky Mark and the Karen Bunch. This is Devin, the developer here.
Hey.
I think you missed a news story. You guys didn't talk about President Biden going to the hospital. Apparently, he couldn't stop Putin.
Oh. Hey, I get up my drumsticks for that one. But I'm pumped.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that one.
Thank you. That joke has probably been told 100,000 times in the Midwest.
It's 100,001 now.
And there's probably a bunch of guys at
also-
a diner that heard this probably go, that's pretty funny. And then they would like tell each other, then it spread from there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Congrats on your upcoming motion picture.
Oh boy.
What
is it?
Am I the first one to congratulate you?
What? Go ahead.
There's a Strange World movie coming out in November by Disney. That's not
Oh
you guys?
yeah, I have heard of this. Very interesting. I don't think they stole it from this, but yeah, I did know there was a Strange World movie coming out.
Yeah, and it's basically like a Lost in Space ripoff to add insult to injury.
Yeah.
I think
hopefully I
that's.
do not get a.
They're totally trolling us.
What's that?
Yeah, hopefully we don't get a phone
That's what I
call
was
or a
thinking.
letter from them.
They're totally trolling us.
It's cultural appropriation, is what it is. So
They
I
do it all
think
the
come
time.
November, you guys should change the name of the show from Strange World to Disney World, and we'll still keep it Flat Earth themed.
Yeah, that would work.
We'll just do it right back to them.
Yeah, there are board copyright lawyers that wouldn't even wait a day for that one.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought you guys maybe parlayed your podcasting skills and you were like voice actors now. So I thought maybe because it's like an animated thing. So.
No, and Peanut's kind of filling me in on this. I'll probably, I don't know if I'll watch it because it's probably only going to be on Disney Plus, but and I don't have Disney Plus for deliberate reasons. Yeah, it's curious though that they would do that. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's
Who knows?
definitely trolling. That's the first thing I thought. I didn't hear.
Even get some. Now, if they came to us and said, "We will pay you to change the name," then it would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah,
but I don't think I would.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to see what would happen. Anyway, what else you got?
I'm gonna have to check it out though. I wonder if there's gonna be any nods to the show or anything like that. I mean, it's too coincidental. It's space themed.
Yeah.
All right. Something else, Mark. I wanted to ask you a question. Maybe you've said it before, but I don't know. I'm a little bit unclear. Like, what could you speculate on? Like, are you a dome guy? Are you like a dome within a dome guy? Are you an infinite plane guy? Like, where do you stand on that?
Oh no, I'm just a dome guy. I'm a dome
just
guy,
a regular
but I also
dome, and that's.
Yeah, I like the dome, but I still like the 1,000-year-old map where we have a dome and then there are other continents outside of that. And could there be a bigger dome outside of that? Sure, why not? But
yeah,
one world at a time for me. Since we can't get past it, I don't. There's only so far I can go. But do I think there's more than one dome out there? Sure. But infinite plane, no. The only reason I have a problem with infinite plane, I know there's a section of people out there that are into infinite plane. You know who you are. Is it still has to deal with that whole gravity versus vacuum issue or density versus vacuum issue where, pressure has to equalize.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, all right,
that's
because infinite plane, it's like, okay, so there's still space if it's an infinite plane.
Well, actually, I used to think that an infinite plane wasn't possible until the whole electrostatics thing. Because now you just need a Gaussian plate. You just need a top plate and a lower plate. So if there's an infinite plane, there would also have to be an infinite top.
Right.
But it could just go out in all directions.
Sort of like an
as long
ant
as
farm,
there's a top
like
and a
turn on its
bottom.
side. Yeah.
Kind of.
That's wild.
Yeah. No. Anyway, so that's my answer. People have asked me that before because that was part of the documentary, which was dome versus no dome.
Interesting. Okay, cool. That guy with the meetup flashbacks, can you give him my email when we get off of here? Because I don't know who he is. It seems like he likes to chat and like to talk about flat earth stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Sure.
Awesome.
Email.
Is it shout out time yet?
Sure. Shoot me an email and then and then say, hey, can I have his name's Alex. And I'll send you Alex his email.
I live about a mile from the big conference spot from Flattoberfest, so Not in his area, obviously, but we definitely hang out if he ever comes to town. So I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, so you're in Greenville?
In Spartanburg, a mile from downtown. Like I could jog
cool.
there. Yeah.
Right on.
So,
Right on.
Yeah,
All right,
strangely enough, there's not a lot of people that put their email on the app. Shout out to David Weiss. I just want to say, fuck you for telling me about the lost history of flat Earth. He's been mentioning this lately, and it's like ruined my week. It's like a 5-hour documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's by a guy named Iwaranan, I think.
Iwaranan.
Yes,
all about like the Tartarians and the free electricity.
I have been sent 12 different versions of that particular email or that video that he made. So.
Yeah, we
it's
all know
crazy,
about
man. It'll suck up all your time.
That's
right.
I
just found out about it. I couldn't believe it. And he's got another one called "What in the World Happened?" I think, something like that. But
yeah, no.
All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to, I don't know, California, maybe? 530, California, line unmuted. What's happening?
Hi, Mark. Hi, Karen. It's Hank.
Hi, Hank. How's it going?
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, because the last 530, I started talking, and evidently it wasn't me. So, yeah, it's me. Yeah, Mark, I got something to float by you. I'm not sure where to start. I've got some pretty compelling evidence that we do, in fact, live in a simulation. So I'll ask you a question.
Sure.
In order for someone to observe a due east sunrise and a due west sunset on the equinox, one would have to live on the equator. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Not sure. Some little bit of three-dimensional thinking there on the fly. I'll just say yes, just to keep the conversation moving forward.
Well, it's a fact. That is, in fact, a fact. Well, I'll just cut to the chase. Everyone on this plane within plus and minus 66 degrees observes a due east sunrise and a due west sunset, regardless of their location. That's a fact. There's no getting around it. Anybody, anywhere can make this observation. I myself have lived many places, and the same is true everywhere. And the only way that can be is if you live on the equator. So basically what's going on in the sky, the celestial equator is directly above everybody. Everybody has their own individual celestial equator above them because everybody experiences that phenomena.
Right.
And for lack of a better word, it's a simulation.
Sure. In the simulated world, wait, stop for a second. Stop for a second. Okay. In ours, when we build simulations, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's called instancing. You're absolutely right. What you're saying is everyone experiences the same thing regardless of where they are, which would be impossible in just a natural, organic, physical world. However, in a simulation, that's exactly what we do all the time. And in fact, I made this argument a while ago. I like yours, but I made it a while ago where I said, okay, two people are looking at the belt of Orion, and both of them think they're seeing the exact same belt of Orion. And one of them says, well, no, the middle star is blue, and the other one says, no, it's red. Who's right? Well, they're both right because they're both seeing completely separate instances, separate examples of the belt. So, no, trust me when I say, look, I'm a big simulation guy, always have been, but the general public can't really wrap their heads around it that much. So you have to start out with something simple, which is it's flat. And you work your way up from there. because every simulation, excuse me, that we build is flat. Also, whether it's Minecraft or GTA or Warcraft or whatever it is, it's built on a perfectly flat. Forget about the hills and valleys. Both sides line up. Both sides are level with each other. Anyways, yeah, I'm totally with you. Anything else? Because we are going to be going to break here. So.
Well, I can't give you my spiel, so I guess I have nothing else. Thanks for your time.
Oh, okay. See you, man. And he hung up. He just disappeared. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pick up a short one before the break. Heck with this. Let's go out to 669. Have I picked you up yet? California, line unmuted?
No, you haven't got me yet.
Hey, man, what's going on?
One?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Hi, Karen. Hi, Mark. Hi, Peanut.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, I'm kind of an infinite plane guy, too, but I'm not against the dome idea. I mean, I think that does tend to lend a lot of the visual phenomena that we see seems to be explainable by the dome idea. But
well the other
thing, I've always felt like where something ends, something else begins. I just can't imagine it just ever stopping.
Bingo. The infinite plane kind of goes along the same lines of when you're trying to fall asleep and you're thinking about the infinite, and since it never has an end, your mind never has closure. So it's very unsatisfying in that regard. It's, we in fact, when we set up infinite things in simulations, when we build them, it drives people nuts. Because they just keep going and going and going and going and going, and they're going just for the sake of going. But when you have it all walled in, what's that line from The Matrix, which I love so much? Everything that has a beginning has an end, and as it should.
Right.
So the dome's just easier. It's more comfortable. Otherwise, you're on a highway and you don't know where it goes.
I like the dome. I think there is a dome.
I do too. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that does make sense. Well, like with the infinite plane, I mean, how are you going to have like a center point? Like a north, like the.
There you go.
Precisely, that's exactly it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to blow it away, of course, because hey, anything's possible. But at the same time, more people are comfortable with the dome thing, so that's what I go with, and I'm more comfortable with it.
I mean, or just perhaps multiple domes, or just an infinite, array of. But all within one plane, But
yeah, that's just crazy talk right there. No, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, what else you got? We got 90 or 60 seconds to the break.
All right. Okay. Well, did you get my email, or did I send it to the wrong email or something?
What'd you send me?
I emailed you a while ago. I sent you an email about my flat Earth video, the debunking of the globe.
Send it to me again. I get a lot of emails. Send it to me again.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
And mention that you talked to me on the show, and that'll help. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. For sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys get back to your commercials. Am I out of time or what?
Yeah, you're out of time. So
there was something else
go to
I
hell.
was going to say. Yeah.
I'll see you, man. By the way, I figured out for the YouTube version, I'm going to cut out that date part entirely. I'm just going to take that snippet and just never happened.
But then you're going to have to cut out every time we talked about it too, then.
No, I'll leave that in for the mystery. We'll be like, what the hell happened?
All right.
See?
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are DFR, your protection from deception.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. The last segment. It's you, me, and the always lovely Karen B. All right. Phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Operators are standing by, and by that I mean me. So remember, be nice. All right, let's start off with, it's amazing to me after the years of doing this and 349 shows, 350 shows next week, that almost no trolls ever call in, ever. And why is that? Because they are scared to death of Karen.
Because if they value their souls, they won't call in here.
Karen eats trolls' souls.
That's right.
Not just a rumor. David Weiss didn't write that wonderful little paragraph out of nothing. It wasn't out of thin air. All right, let's go to 360 out. And north of here, close to Canada, as you're going to get without being there.
The house is up one of the Fransons at the cabin because there's so much snow up there. Oh. You just shut it off somehow. I didn't touch it. Did you hang it up? No.
Dan?
That's why I unused.
Dan, you're on the phone, Dan. Dan.
Oh. Hello there. Yes.
Oh, God.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we could always hear you.
Okay, I was just a minor little dispute with my... I was in a little dispute about who was going to be on which phone when I called into the Mark Sargent and Karen B hour, or 2 hours.
Oh, 2 hours. All right, so you got us. What's happening?
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Well, let me just say this. Imagine, if you will, that there's a 99.977% chance that you won't shit your pants, but you're forced to wear diapers just in case. Now imagine that you must wear those diapers to prevent your neighbors from shitting their pants as well. Twilight Zone, 2022.
Wow. Wow. You know what? That's one of the most original things I have heard all year. But thank you. It's good.
You've seen that one, I know.
No, I haven't.
But
I've never
it's another meme going around with the Twilight Zone guys.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Karen B, it's official. I guess we're coming over to the coast with the family, but we're going to be down in Florida, northern Florida. So we'll be at the next Oktoberfest.
Oh,
so
sweet.
And hopefully Mark will be there as well. I linked to Mark a little bit over the holidays at the meetup. But
I apparently, if I'm not there, I'm going to be in trouble. So I am definitely going to try to be there. The only thing that could
be there.
There's like 21 states, and all the different pilots associations are suing to get rid of all the mandates on the airplanes.
I know, and April 18th is coming up. We'll see what the feds do. Because all public transportation, it's supposed to expire on buses and trains and planes and ferry boats. Not to be confused with the ferry boats of Fire Island. I'm talking about actual car and driver ferry boats. But it's supposed to expire, so we'll see. I'm hoping, and if so, great, wonderful, because almost everybody I know, the mandates have all been pulled back, and no, it's like it never happened. It's like 2 years went by, and it's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle.
Oh yeah, just a 2.5 year nightmare that you have to wake up from first, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well,
but I'm not saying it's over. I'm just saying I'm coming up for air.
I know. Hey, look, when I open up a news feed and I don't see anything on it at all, what am I supposed to think?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. What are you supposed to think?
All I know is I'm not supposed to talk about it officially on this channel, so that mandate hasn't been rolled back. Whatever.
No, not at all. I guess the UK hospitals, they're saying, are now required to ask men if they are pregnant when they are admitted to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's the enormous
dysfunctional system we're living in now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's clown world every day. It is the greatest show on earth, and we are in the middle of it, no question. And I'll say, as crazy as it is, and insane, and you look at it and it's like, man, you just you want to change it so badly. I will say this: it's not boring. I've not been bored through this. That's for sure.
Right. We're at that stage where it's hard to be bored.
Oh yeah. Can't wait, and every week I think I
might have to drop off some ammo on the way down to Florida. I don't know if I want to carry all of it across the U.S. through all the other blue states, so I might have to drop off some at your house. I think I'm looking for bear or something.
And by ammo,
bear, or whatever you want to say.
By ammo, you mean candy bars, right?
Of course, yes.
Because you would never say that you were actually carrying. Yes, exactly. Yeah, just want to make sure.
Snack crackers and things like that.
Snack crackers.
I don't know if that goes very well in the moving van. I haven't checked. When I moved to Hawaii, I had a guy that I worked for who owned a shop that made all those different bongs and pot pipes and things like that. Yeah. I loaded it all into the moving van. It was Atlas moving van. And by the time it got to it was gone. Wow. Every single pipe and bong that I ever earned by my hard work as a lawyer was gone from this pot shop. It had been looted by the people in transit. And I don't want to blame Lions, I don't want to blame Washingtonians, but all of it was just gone.
So all of your drug paraphernalia
and I flew in a plane,
stolen.
Obviously. I couldn't drive to Hawaii, so I couldn't buy my own on the airplane back then.
You couldn't drive to Hawaii? Oh, hey, by the way, since we're on this crackers thing, and I do have to let you go in a bit, did you know that Cracker Jack, which is owned by Pepsi, in honor of women's sports, whatever it is, they temporarily changed the bags to be Cracker Jill instead of Cracker Jack?
What?
Yeah, there's the link right there on your thing.
What's the punchline?
So there is no punchline. There is no punchline. It's 5 different.
That's it.
It's covering all the demographics: Hispanic, from what Pina and I could figure out, African American, Asian, and Caucasian, or could be European. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
look it up if you get a chance. Look up Cracker Jill. You'll be amazed.
I will. Well, Cracker Jill became a swimmer after she was Cracker Jack, it changed, and then won a lot of swimming races as a biological male. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's a little different. And no, this is actual legitimate female sports. I am pro. Look, I said this years ago. And the argument is, and I'll sum it up for you guys real quick, and then I'll let you go, Dan, which is, think about it this way. LeBron James is 37, 38, something like that. If, let's say, when he's 40, he wants to keep playing, if he really wanted to mess with people, he'd just say, oh, yeah, I'm taking hormone therapy. I'm going to join the WNBA. And then he could play till he was 50. And not just play till he was 50, dominate. Just destroy all records in the WNBA. Is that fair? No, but there are some people who challenge that. Fair. And exactly. And so why would you let it happen in college, and why would you let it happen in high school? You wouldn't. And but people are afraid to say no. It's like, oh, we don't want to offend that particular demographic. It's like, if you don't, you're going to crush. And again, I don't mind saying this, because why not? It's like, look, there's a gay community, a lot of people in the gay community that are in women, lesbian women that are in professional sports, and they can't compete.
Yes.
So you're pitting one part of that community versus the other, and they're losing, and they're bigger in terms of demographics. And
I know. I mean, I learned the hard way in college playing with the softball team in co-ed, and I realized all the big hitters were Lebanese, and
they were on the team, but in their off season they played softball. But in the rest of the sports, they don't have the muscle mass, the heart and the lung capacity to be able to compete in distance sports or in muscle and quickness sports. Softball, they're pretty good.
Yeah, yes, they are. Anyway, hey, what do you got for shout-outs? Because I gotta let you go.
Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25. Jill came down with $2.50. Andrew Dice Clay. Shout out.
It's true. Thank you. Thank you. I know that.
No, we'll switch that now, though, other way around. Because I'm a full. Anyway, I'm open. I'm open to jokes. I love jokes.
Okay,
shout out to everybody. Thank you.
All right, see you, man. Bye-bye. I know that joke. That Andrew Dice Clay joke. Okay, let's pick up at least a couple more. Let's go out to Alabama. 251, line unmuted. You, me, Karen B. What could go wrong? What's happening?
Almost Alabama. Right now, I'm in, I guess, Blacksburg, outside of Spartanburg.
Oh, cool.
Well, long story short, I'm originally from Buffalo, Rochester, and yes, I've spent 25 years in Mobile. My wife passed away in December, so I'm on my way back up to visit the youngins, which aren't youngins anymore. Anyway, stop by North Carolina to visit Karen and bring her some gifts. And Mark, I got a gift for you, and the only way you can get that gift is come to Flattoberfest.
That, my friend, is extortion, and I may just fall for it.
Of course.
All right.
Good enough. Well, I hope to see you, Karen. Maybe tomorrow.
I may take you up on that.
All right, sounds good. All right, so I just called in to
better be
give
cool,
a shout out to you, both
whatever
of
it
you.
is.
And
Better be cool. Better not be just another Pez dispenser.
it might keep you busy for a couple of minutes.
Okay. What else you got?
Oh, not much. Just hope to see you tomorrow, Karen, if you're going to be over there. If not, I'll try to catch you. I will be at Flattoberfest, no problem. I got my whole home on wheels now.
Okay, well, we'll talk in messages, okay?
Absolutely, no problem.
Yeah, I don't want to discuss everything like on the show.
It's true. It is a call-in show. That listen. All right. Any shout outs?
Yeah, to all you and all the flat earthers everywhere.
All right. Hey, you
have a good evening.
Okay? All right, you too.
I certainly will. You too.
All right.
Bye,
Thank you.
Karen.
Bye.
Okay, who else can we pick up before the show rolls on? We're going to pick up at least, there's New York. I was wondering why he called. He must be high or drunk or both, because he called my cell phone instead of the show line. It's like, oh boy, here we go. Let's go to, you know what? Let's try 504. 504, line unmuted. Are you currently driving a truck somewhere in America?
Yes, in Oregon. I'm glad you waited till the traffic was a little intense there. It's a little better now. I know I don't have much time, so I'll just pick one of the things that I was going to say. The book that you gave out at the Dallas conference in 2019, I forgot the exact title, like Flat Earth Clues 2.0 or something like that.
It was Flat Earth. It was Flat Earth Clues: End of the World on Amazon now. But go ahead.
Yeah, I remember it had two major sections. One is the history of the current movement since like 2014 or so, and the other part was summarizing the major aspects or factual, the scientific stuff, like the thing with the moonlight and other aspects. Anyway, it occurred to me this past week, if there was a book at some point that everybody, like experts on various topics, like, maybe Bob Nodell on firmament or ISS or Dave Marsh on the moon or something, all got put together, I thought this book, if there ever was a second edition of it, It could be a compilation, possibly edited by Mark Sargent and whoever was willing. But this could be like the basis of it if a second edition was a collaborative effort with the experts in the various areas. That's just an idea for that part of the book. The other part, just for FYI, we've already got a history of the Flat Earth movement, the current movement, in your book. So Kelly Wiles was superfluous, and you're even critical, and rightly so, of certain aspects of it. So you, I say, you hit that before she even got there. So good job on that. If anyway, yeah, that's all I've got. Just that idea for the future.
Well, thank you. And you know what? That's not a bad idea at all. So thank you for that.
Sure thing. Thanks for the book.
All right. Hey, have a good one. Talk soon.
Will do.
Okay. Bye-bye. Of course, I'll make him sign away a waiver to where that idea was actually mine and all its subsidiary rights. But, we'll get to that. Okay. Let's pick up, you know what? Let's just go out there. Let's do it. Ready? 845. Line unmuted. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it with Truth Smacks Trail Mix Supreme. Now on Amazon.
New York. I'm not drunk or high, but I did call your cell phone because I've been doing ambient chasers with Sally Housecoat and Joe Lunchbox all night.
Yes, I knew it was like I'm looking at this going.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. When I saw you, and this is not the first time you've done that, where it's like I see your name show up on my cell phone. It's like, okay, did he hit the wrong number? You apparently have both my numbers on speed dial?
Well, of course they're both on speed dial, but yeah, the contacts they're right next to each other. So when I open the contact, yeah, I'm an idiot. That's ambient chasers, man. Ambient chasers. That's all I got to say.
Dude, if I had a nickel
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Zulu.
Hey, Flattoberfest.
Yeah, buddy.
Really?
Hell
You're already
yeah.
getting hyped up for it? It's April.
Are you kidding? He's the one
yeah.
annoying me the most.
Yeah, like every fucking time. Sorry, it's my job. What the fuck with Cracker Jane or Cracker whatever? I'm gonna pour my
Cracker
Russian
Jill.
vodka out on my
Cracker
Cracker
Jill.
Janes. What?
Cracker Jill.
Cracker
Well,
Jill.
No.
What
I actually no. I get this. It's not a permanent thing. It is It is a temporary thing just for women's sports. And here's my thoughts on it. They may be doing this to promote actual women's sports thing in response to what's been happening lately.
I see what you're saying.
It's very
Right.
possible.
Yeah, because that's retarded. It's men's and women's sports. It's for a reason. It's not animal and human sports, and I go compete with the animals now because I identify as a fucking horse. It's so stupid. It's just stupid.
Not to steal from like Ben Shapiro, but his lines were probably the best, which was he threw out all sorts of different logic, like why when he's talking to people that are transitioning, he says, okay, so why aren't you collecting unemployment right now? And it's like, what are you talking about? Because I'm not retired. It's like, really, you're not 60? Why aren't you 60? And it's like, because I can't and because they say because I can't biologically be 60. It's like, but you can be other things. You know what I mean? There's some things you can't do. And again, we've softened the country, especially, has softened so much in terms of we're giving everybody. I get it, social media giving everybody a voice. I totally get that, but it's not all equal voices. And again, I don't want to come off as a jerk when I say this. I don't believe in white privilege. I don't believe in male privilege. I believe in majority privilege. And it comes from three different ways. Either you got the numbers, you got the money, or you got strength of arms. One of those three things. And when you get one of those three things, you tend to protect your interests, and you tend to do, bend the rules and sometimes break the rules. I totally, that's just what happens. And to go against that, you're, if you were in those shoes, if the minority became the majority, you do the same damn thing. So saying, I don't want to get off on a tear here. You know what I mean? It's the end of the show. I don't want to take away. What else you got?
I hear you. It's just ridiculous. I mean, just crazy. Like I wanted to give a little credit because that "Stop Putin" joke cracked me the fuck up too. Never heard that before. That was so stupid. I was like, "Dad joke for the win! Dad joke for the win!" That was awesome. And Fauci will never be prosecuted. I mean, for real, dude. Look at all of them.
I wasn't
Look
trying
at
to
Governor Rapist.
The criminals never send themselves to jail.
It's their system. It's not going to happen. Don't waste any time or energy on it.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be mean to the caller, but it's like, look, man,
right?
I've moved on to this because the media has completely. I mean, they transitioned straight from, oh yeah, mandates are rolling back now, and we're on to the war. And it's like it was that fast to where literally the pandemic's like, what pandemic?
And you're absolutely right. They did not. Didn't roll back their fucking mandate shit because I just got a guideline strike for a video that was a year and a half old of some stupid magnet on the arm crap video, and now I get a strike. And they're like, "Oh, one more, we'll take your channel." Whatever. It's so stupid. So stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Now that being said, there's still going to be some stuff that they aren't going to roll back anytime soon. Like the airlines probably will because that just ticks people off. Hospitals probably not, and companies like YouTube. I don't think they're going to be changing their stuff anytime soon. But you want to see something? You want to see something weird? Let's talk about this for a couple of minutes, which is the Peanut and I were talking about before the show. Like if they, for a lot of people, if you haven't been watching the little headlines, they're thinking about completely legalizing marijuana on a federal level, which opens up all sorts. Oh yeah, it already passed the House, and now they're moving on to the Senate. It's like. That opens up a whole new series of questions that I'm not even sure, because the first thing they're thinking of doing is like, well, people are there in jail for marijuana offenses, they all get let out because it's not a crime anymore.
Yeah, I'm super sus of what the fuck's going on. I don't trust them. They're not doing it for our fucking benefit.
Yeah, well, part of it's just because then the states, it's mostly tax revenue. That's why you would do it. But there's certain loopholes. I mean, yeah, there wouldn't be a lot of marijuana coming in from Mexico anymore, but then you'd have a lot more people growing it in their backyards. And then, do the shops suffer? Some will, some won't. But it's a weird question that opens up just all these weird avenues. But the prison system, that's
everything they do is multifaceted. Everything has multiple angles. So I mean, you pointed out so many different things.
Yeah. So everyone that's listening to this, keep an eye on that over the next couple of weeks, because if it passes, it's going to be weird. I don't even know what to make of it yet. I mean, I don't think it's going to affect the war.
It's all weird. I checked on that article. They reported it is some hospital. They're asking males before they do scans, "Are you pregnant?" Are you out of your fucking mind? I have testicles. What the fuck are you asking me that for?
I know.
Dude, it's. I'm sorry.
Do not forget.
It makes me angry, but it's really. Oh, go ahead.
Don't forget that Arnold Schwarzenegger did that, didn't he? Didn't he play a character where he got pregnant?
Yeah, he got pregnant. Mm-hmm.
And by the way,
it's not. I guess it's not. Oh, go
ahead. Oh, I was
just going to say it's not that I'm angry, but it's because they're social conditioning people, and we see it. It's happening, and it's been happening, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I know. All right. Yeah, with that, we're going to do a slow motion wrap up the show here. So next week. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I haven't really thought about it. I'll think about it tomorrow. It usually comes to me when I'm looking at the headlines and going, where are we right now?
350, right? Go 350.
Yeah, 350. 350, and rumor has it that I might, because you love being on the milestone shows, that I might have you on for the 4th segment of 350. So
Cool.
be on your best behavior.
Cool. Also day 760 of the siege. Crazy.
Right. Crazy. And so thank you, everyone, for calling in tonight. And don't forget, by the way, my channel is still trying to get 100,000 subs. Please go to YouTube, type in Flat Earth Mark, and sub me, because I'd love to get my plaque before, the world ends. All right, so we'll be here next week, same flat time, same flat channel. With that, say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu.
And with that, I will drag out the last 10 seconds by saying go to flatearthfestivals.com. Right, Karen? Flatearthfestivals.com?
Yep, flatearthfestivals.com.
And check out all the meetups that are there, or check my channel, Flat Earth Mark. It'll be on there.
And check out the events, Flattoberfest 22. Tickets go on sale very soon.
And think about going to the Deftones tour, 2022 tour.
Oh, yeah, Deftones.
In Portland, going all over the place. All right, anyway, hot sex.
Say it. There you go, hot sex. I was like, come on, say it.
ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have. you'll ever need.